Magnesium is one of the most important minerals in the human body, yet most people rarely think about it until something starts to feel off. And that is exactly what makes it so easy to overlook. Your body depends on magnesium for hundreds of essential processes. It plays a role in muscle function, nerve signaling, energy production, sleep regulation, and even the way your body handles stress. In other words, this is not some minor nutrient that only matters in special situations. It is part of the foundation. But the problem is that when magnesium intake is too low, the signs are often subtle at first. They do not always arrive in a dramatic way. They may show up as things people brush off every day: fatigue, poor sleep, muscle tightness, feeling restless, or simply the sense that your body is not functioning as smoothly as it should. And because these symptoms are common, many people normalize them. They assume they are just stressed, getting older, sleeping badly, or not trying hard enough. But sometimes the body is not asking for something complicated. Sometimes it is asking for better nourishment. Now, to be clear, not every symptom means magnesium is low. These signs can overlap with many other issues, and real deficiencies should not be self-diagnosed from a video alone. But understanding what your body may be trying to tell you can help you pay attention earlier. So in today's video, we are going to break down 5 signs your body may be low in magnesium, why they matter, and which foods may help you support your intake more consistently. And stay with me until the end, because one of the biggest reasons people fall short on magnesium has less to do with one specific food and more to do with the pattern of the modern diet as a whole. Let's start with the first sign. The first sign is muscle cramps or twitching. This is one of the most commonly discussed signs when magnesium comes up, and for good reason. Magnesium helps regulate muscle contraction and relaxation. That means your muscles rely on it to function more smoothly. When intake is too low, some people may notice that their muscles cramp more often, especially at night. Others notice twitching in the eyelid, calf tightness, foot cramps, or a strange feeling of muscle tension that seems to come and go for no obvious reason. Of course, cramps can happen for many reasons. Dehydration can play a role. So can overuse, poor circulation, or other nutrient issues. But magnesium is one of the key nutrients that belongs in the conversation. And what makes this especially relevant is that many people live with low-level discomfort for a long time without ever asking why. They stretch, massage the area, ignore it, and move on. But if your muscles are repeatedly sending signals, it may be worth asking whether your daily nutrition is actually supporting muscle function the way it should. The second sign is fatigue. This is where things become even easier to miss, because fatigue is one of the most common complaints in modern life. People are tired for all kinds of reasons. They sleep too little, work too much, sit too much, worry too much, and often eat in a way that leaves the body undersupported. But magnesium matters here because it plays a role in energy production. Your cells depend on it to help produce and use energy efficiently. So when intake is too low, some people may feel more drained, less steady, or more physically sluggish than usual. Not the kind of exhaustion that always knocks you down in one dramatic moment. Sometimes it is more like a background fatigue. A body that feels less charged, less resilient, less willing. You wake up tired, move through the day tired, and assume this is just normal life now. But constant tiredness should never be dismissed too casually. Again, low magnesium is not the only explanation, but if fatigue is showing up alongside other signs like cramps, poor sleep, restlessness, or weakness, the bigger picture becomes more interesting. The third sign is poor sleep. This one matters a lot, especially because people often think about sleep only in terms of stress or bedtime routine. And yes, those things matter. But nutrients matter too. Magnesium is involved in nerve function and relaxation, which is one reason it often comes up in conversations about sleep quality. Some people with low intake report trouble winding down at night. Others fall asleep but do not stay asleep well. Others sleep for enough hours on paper but still wake up feeling like their body never fully settled. Now, sleep is complicated. Light exposure matters. Caffeine matters. Stress matters. Late eating matters. But a body that is undernourished can also struggle to feel calm and regulated. And that is one reason sleep deserves attention when talking about magnesium. Sometimes the problem is not just that the mind is busy. Sometimes the body is not being given the nutritional support it needs to relax properly. This is where many people get trapped in a cycle. They sleep poorly, so they feel tired. They feel tired, so they eat more convenience foods. They eat more convenience foods, so their nutrient intake stays poor. Then the body continues to underperform, and the cycle repeats. The fourth sign is feeling tense, restless, or unable to relax. Many people describe this sensation in different ways. Some say they feel wired but tired. Others say they cannot fully settle down, even when they finally have time to rest. Some feel physically tense, mentally scattered, or like their system is always slightly overstimulated. This matters because magnesium is involved in nerve and muscle regulation. When intake is not where it should be, some people may notice that the body feels less calm, less smooth, less stable. That does not mean magnesium is a magical solution for stress. Life stress is real, and no mineral can erase a chaotic lifestyle, bad sleep habits, constant overstimulation, and emotional overload all at once. But if your body is already under pressure, low nutrient support can make everything feel worse. A body that is tense all the time is often a body asking for support, and in many cases, people immediately look for something strong and dramatic to fix the problem. A supplement, a sedative, a miracle routine. But sometimes the better starting point is more basic. Better meals, better sleep hygiene, less ultra-processed food, more consistency, more awareness of what your body is missing. The fifth sign is headaches, discomfort, or a general sense that something feels off. This one is less specific, but it still matters. Magnesium is often discussed in relation to muscle and nerve tension, and some people with low intake may notice more physical discomfort, tension-related symptoms, or a body that simply feels less comfortable than usual. The reason this sign is tricky is because it overlaps with so many things. Stress can do it. Dehydration can do it. Poor sleep can do it. Too much caffeine can do it. But when these symptoms show up alongside cramps, fatigue, poor sleep, and restlessness, it may point to a broader pattern of nutritional weakness. And that is the real message here. Your body does not usually operate through isolated signals. It tends to show patterns. One symptom alone may not tell you much, but several low-level signs appearing together often deserve more attention than people give them. So if these signs sound familiar, what should you eat? This is where magnesium-rich foods become important. Some of the best food sources include pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, black beans, avocado, and dark chocolate in moderation. Other plant foods like legumes, nuts, seeds, and leafy greens can also help support better intake. Notice the pattern there. These are mostly whole, minimally processed foods. And that matters because one of the biggest reasons people may fall short on magnesium is not that they avoid one specific superfood. It is that their overall diet is built around foods that are low in nutritional value. Highly processed diets tend to push out the very foods that naturally provide minerals. If most of your routine is based on refined snacks, sugary products, fast food, convenience meals, and low-fiber packaged foods, your body may be getting enough calories while still coming up short on what actually supports function. That is why the problem is often bigger than magnesium alone. A low magnesium pattern is often part of a larger pattern: low food quality, low fiber, low nutrient density, low support. And that is where better health usually begins to change, not through one miracle fix, but through a more intelligent daily pattern. A breakfast with Greek yogurt, nuts, and berries. A lunch with beans, greens, and protein. A snack built around seeds or whole foods instead of sugar-heavy convenience foods. A dinner with vegetables, legumes, and something real instead of something highly processed. These shifts may sound simple, but simple does not mean weak. In fact, some of the most powerful improvements in long-term health come from simple things repeated consistently. And that is especially important in a channel like this, because the goal is not hype. The goal is helping people understand how the body works, what it may be signaling, and how small changes may support better function over time. Now, one important reminder before we close. If your symptoms are persistent, severe, or unusual, it is important to speak with a qualified healthcare professional. Muscle cramps, fatigue, poor sleep, and other symptoms can have many causes, and it is always better to take repeated warning signs seriously. This video is about awareness, not diagnosis. Your body usually gives signals before bigger problems appear. The question is whether you are listening early enough to respond. So let's bring it all together. If your body may be low in magnesium, some of the signs may include muscle cramps or twitching, fatigue, poor sleep, feeling tense or restless, and a general sense of physical discomfort or tension. None of these signs prove anything by themselves, but if several of them are showing up together, it may be time to look more closely at the quality of your nutrition and the pattern of your daily habits. Because sometimes the body is not failing, sometimes it is under-supported. And when you begin to support it better, with smarter food choices, better routines, and more awareness, the body often responds in ways that matter. You do not need a perfect diet, but you do need one that gives your body something useful to work with. If this video helped you, subscribe to Body Signal Health for more simple videos about body warning signs, healthy aging, nutrition, and everyday wellness.